Why, hello there. Jacob here. And today officially marks the end of off-season training. So what does that mean? Well, obviously that means the off-season workouts are officially in the books. You know, the books have been passed out, all the initial schemes, formations, and just overall verbiage and, all that stuff is officially done. So, in about a month and a half, month and 3 weeks-ish or so, training camp will begin. Finally. And for the first time in a long time, I am super excited to watch preseason football. I am super excited to keep an eye on training camp and all that stuff because, well, for the first time since 2014, which, I don't think I need to keep, beating a dead horse here, but let's just say for the first time since 2014, we have an all-new cast of coaches and characters. So, figure I'd go ahead and kind of give you my early June predictions and sort of projections and basically what I want to see here, for lack of a better term. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So, obviously, the first major thing that I'm going to be, really paying attention to is our offensive scheme. Because, well, Kevin O'Connell comes from the Sean McVay Los Angeles Rams coaching tree, I guess. And, well, if you know anything about the Rams, they're not afraid to line it up, ba-ba-ba-boom, go down the line. I mean, fast pace up and down the field. I mean, heck, Cooper Kupp just got paid tremendously today, so good for him. I mean, he definitely deserves it there. So, I mean, he knows offense. They know offense, And, so obviously, him bringing a little bit of his flair, a little bit of his flavor, basically kind of molding this into his own. I mean, like I say, he definitely has a really solid cast of characters that I would almost, now I'm not going to fully say this, but I would almost put our offensive weapons up against the Rams' offensive weapons. Think about it. I would kind of consider Cousins Stafford-esque. Obviously we have a solid, dangerous receivers in Jefferson and Thielen, which you could basically compare to guys like Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp, even Robert Woods of last year before he got injured and all that stuff. So, I mean, not to mention Dalvin Cook in the backfield, a la like a Cam Akers or someone like that. He definitely has his choice of, players and schemes and all that stuff. So, again, that's going to be the first big thing is how will they, utilize, like, Cook? How will we utilize guys like Madison? Will we use a little more Nwangu? Will there be another running back that, steps up? Or because I've heard a lot of rumors that Dalvin Cook has been lining up a lot more at the receiver position as well, which obviously bodes very well for us, especially in this style of football. So, yeah, I mean, gone are the days of the Adrian Peterson tree, I guess. We're basically, we're going to run it down your throat 50 times, still try to stop us. Which just shows you how good Adrian Peterson was for the Vikings, because, again, how many years in a row was it basically Adrian Peterson for our offense? You know what I mean? It could be 3rd down and 20, and we'd still run it with Adrian Peterson. And he'd pick up, if not 20, like 15 or more of those yards anyway. So, I mean, different times back then, but now again, it's a lot more up-tempo. It's a lot more fast-paced. It's a lot more boom, 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 boom schemes, formations, it's a lot more flash, a lot more flair. Which is why, having weapons that can do multiple things is huge. That, and also, like I say, the NFC North this year might be a little more open than I think even a lot of the, media pundits want to believe. Just because, again, I still have to see with the Packers' new, receivers and, after they got rid of Davante Adams and all that stuff, what they do there, because you're replacing Davante Adams with Sammy Watkins. Sounds like Alan Lazard might, be looking for a long-term extension there. Well, to be fair, though, he's probably going to be the guy for now, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or not, but obviously, there's a little bit of a downgrade between Davante Adams and Alan Lazard. Nothing against Lazard. It's just Davante Adams is arguably the best, if not the best receiver in the NFL. So, but anyway, and also, too, with the Bears, they still probably have a little bit of time before, we really get to see a lot there, because, again, Justin Fields, maybe, developing with some more offensive weapons, because I really didn't see a lot of improvement on the offense. I mean, obviously, Darnell Mooney's probably going to be, he's definitely going to be someone to keep an eye on for, like, an underrated receiver this year. And, also, the Detroit Lions are on their way up. Maybe. I know it's kind of like one of those, like, skippable tracks, it's just like, put this on repeat. The Lions are on their way up. Repeat. The Lions are on their way up. Repeat. Like, they do stuff and you're just like, at this point, it's just more like a hope and a prayer that the Lions will actually be relevant. But honestly, though, rinse and repeat here, the Lions might actually be relevant this year. I mean, they finally have a good culture around them. Campbell looks like a real deal coach and not just some gimmick, biting those kneecaps. Remember that press conference? Whoo, boy. You want to talk about the memes there. But again, I mean, so the NFC North isn't necessarily going to be a cakewalk. Now, with that said, though, I still have a feeling it's going to come down between us and the Packers, because, again, Aaron Rodgers. So, but anyway, back to the Vikings here. So, and again, just how all these moves are actually going to shake out for us, because, well, there's still a lot of, like, question marks in the draft and, and all that stuff that made me scratch my head there with what Kwesi did, and I still don't have the answers. I mean, hell, you already have half the Vikings fans wanting to fire him, and we haven't even seen him do anything yet. So, such is life in the social media age, I guess. But anyway, so, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I have a feeling we could be a top 5 offense when all is said and done. Now, to switch over to the defensive side of things, Ed Donatel. What are you going to do, buddy? You're like, what's going to be the plan here? Because I've heard a lot of rumblings of a 3-4 style of defense. Hence why I picked up guys like Harrison Phillips, Dalvin Tomlinson coming back, Zadarius Smith. Does that name ring a bell, Vikings fans? I mean, I'm excited for that one because he looks like he's ready to go and he wants to do this. And I'm like, oh boy, yes. Especially because we get to open up at home against the Packers. He's going to be hungry for that. But anyway, I digress. Danielle Hunter will be healthy for the first time, Granted, like I said, I don't know how much of that was actually him being injured the last couple seasons, or, again, if there was more behind the scenes here. Again, I don't think I really need to go much more into that, but, yeah, let's just say, with Zimmer being gone and all that stuff, it just seems like there's a new breath of fresh air. I mean, Eric Kendricks said it, Chris Boyd said it, I mean, plenty of other players behind the scenes probably have said the exact same thing those guys have. They just haven't been vocal about it, so. But like I say, with the defense, is it going to be primarily a 3-4 scheme? Is it going to be like a 4-3 hybrid? Is it going to be like a 3-3-5? I mean, basically, what are we going to do with all these different schemes and all these different, formations? Bringing back guys like Patrick Peterson is huge for the secondary. How will Harrison Smith and Lewis Seen work together? Will they utilize Seen as more of like a extra linebacker, essentially, kind of like an a la Mark Barron type? Or are they going to utilize him as more of like a safety, like a thumper, kind of like a Sendejo type or something along those lines, And also, who's going to be that number 2 corner by, Patrick Peterson's side? At this point, my money's going to be on Dantzler. And then they'll develop guys like Andrew Booth Jr. and Chris Boyd. He might have a shot, too. Also, don't forget about, I keep forgetting about Chandon Sullivan, too, the former Packer nickelback, too, which should hopefully, solidify our nickel position a little bit more. Like that third, fourth corner back position, because last year, yikes, it's kind of excited when we brought back, Mac, but that did not work well, did it? But again, though, how much of that was Mac and how much of that was actually, coaching regime. Again, I don't think I have to go into that, but anyway. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see with all that stuff, so. And again, this is as of, June 9th at, midnight Central Standard Time, so there's still a lot of things that happen between now and when that ball gets kicked off at 3:25 on, September 11th. And heck, even when the ball gets kicked off on August 14th at 3:25 against the Raiders. Because, well, as you know, the Vikings' preseason schedule, that is the first game, will be against the Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas, Sunday, August 14th at 3:25 Central Time. So that'll be the first opportunity we get to see the Vikings with their new-ish schemes and all that stuff. Again, like I say, we really won't actually see the full playbook until, the Packers game, but we'll get a little taste, we'll get a little, feeling about what to expect. So, again, I am super, super excited for this. So stay tuned. I do have a new pickup coming in the mail, hopefully within, I'd say, the next 10-ish, 12 days or so, because it's shipping over from Fanatics International, UK. Just a little shameless plug there for, future videos and all that stuff. So, yeah, I got a busy couple weeks ahead of me here and all that stuff. So you probably won't see a lot of videos, but again, we're getting close now. I mean, once the NFL season hits, I plan on doing every recap. I plan on doing previews and all that stuff when I can, obviously. It depends on my work schedule and all that stuff. But we're on the home stretch now, boys. Vikings football will be back. I don't know how my liver and wallet feel about that yet, but I don't even know if we're still recovered from last Vikings season. But, yeah, such is life as a Vikings fan. So, until we meet again, though, this is Jacob. Have a good day.